So what we want to do is we want to start with a pair of channel locks or pump pliers, depending on how you refer to that. We're going to use, in this case, I used a 9-in-1 screwdriver because we'll need a Phillips head bit, and we're going to need a 5/16 bit. And then we also need a 10 mm socket along with a extension. And it's good to have something, in this case I used an Allen wrench. When we're draining down the 150, we'll need to activate the diverter. And once the diverter motor is off, because power's off, we can go ahead and just use that Allen wrench to push that in and just drain off any additional water that may be sitting there at that diverter valve. In the kit, you're going to get the new plate that's going to go on there. You're going to get a set of nuts, an extra set of nuts, just in case you lose any of those. You're also going to get 4 of the gaskets. Those are going to be there to help you just in case you tear one of the gaskets. We'll start with turning off the power and the gas. Be important to drain your boiler down. More than taking off the pressure, we're actually going to drain it down on a Noble 150. Remove the ignition cable. Disconnect the front cover of the control board by removing the 5/16 nut. Once you've done that, you can take the cover off. It's a good idea to probably take a picture here of the all the wires, so when you put it back together, you know which one goes where. So disconnect all of the Molex connectors. Now they do all go only in one location, but it's still a good idea that you've taken a picture of these beforehand. You will not need to remove the boards, but we will be taking the entire cover basically off of here when we get to that point. There are 4 connectors on the main board, and there are 2 connectors on our low voltage board. In this case, one of the second connectors is the optional low water cutoff. So if you don't have an external low water cutoff, then you won't have that connection there. We're going to remove the 4 screws that hold the plate on. When we take those off, these 2 boards are going to come off. Just be sure to have a grip on it so they don't drop down on you. Now the back side of this board is the low pressure switch. There are going to be 2 hoses. One runs up to the a T that goes to the gas valve, and the second one runs over to the flue. You'll also find there are 2 orange wires. Now these are your safety circuit for the low pressure switch. Sometimes these can be a little tough to get off of there. Once that's removed, we're going to go ahead and take the lower panel off. When we take this off, on the back of this display panel is the 24-volt transformer. There are 2 connections. One is 120 volts to the transformer. The second is the 24 volts leaving the transformer and heading out to power your safety circuits and your gas valve. Now on the back side of the display is your 24-volt transformer. So we will have a couple of Molex plugs there. One is the 120 volts into the transformer, and the second one is the 24 volts out of the transformer. These are color-coded, and the Molex plugs only go one way, so it's another one that's pretty easy to put back in. Tucked up here by the fan, you're going to find the fan control wire, so you want to go ahead and disconnect that. That's the 4-wire modulation cable, and it's really so that we can just move this whole wiring harness out of your way. You go ahead and do it. I'm going to tuck it here back behind the domestic water piping. Then we'll disconnect the 120 volt power to the pump. And at this point in time, we got a nice easy access to everything we need to work on here. So here we're going to use a set of pump pliers or channel locks, and we're going to loosen up the unions that hold and we're going to take 2 of them off here, and this is the supply tube coming out. Inside of that supply tube are a couple of gaskets, so we're going to want to be careful with those when we take them out. And you are going to remove this tube to get it out of your way, so it's more remove them than just loosen them. These can be tough to turn the first time. It's not as easy as what you just saw in this video. And these are the two gaskets you'll see. Then we're going to use a 10mm socket. You're going to need an extension, especially to reach the nut in the back of the heat exchanger, as well as in the front where we go around the tube. So having that extension is going to be important. Now you don't take all of the nuts off because we're going to leave the plate attached, really the flue collector. So in this case, we leave 2 of the 5 nuts in place, remove the other 3. If you happen to drop a nut, that's okay because they send some extra ones in the kit. So here's the plate that's going to go in. What this is going to do, it's going to take flex out of that flue collector plate. That's really what it's designed to do, is to give it some additional rigidity and support there. Then go ahead and hand thread the nuts on. Be really cautious here, they don't cross thread anything. Go ahead and tighten these back up. And this is only about 2 foot-pounds of torque. So it's required, I think it's actually 1.8 foot-pounds of torque to tighten these up. So we don't want to over-tighten them. So at this point in time, we're going to reconnect our water tube. Again, check these gaskets. If they're damaged, go ahead and use the new ones that have come in the kit. It's really important that you don't cross thread here. I have found that if I do the top one first, by not having the gasket in the bottom, it gives me a little extra room in there to really get that one started at a nice clean angle. Once I get that one started and on there, I'm going to go ahead and insert the gasket in the bottom one and go ahead and start that one. And then once I've got those done, I'm going to go ahead and tighten them up. After getting it tight right here, what you really want to do, this is a great time to go ahead and fill the boiler back up with water. And that way we can see these connections and make sure that we don't have any leaks.